Has Baby Reindeer, Netflix's latest smash hit, got you interested in the legal issues involved? If so, watch on after the jingle.
If you wanna be solicitors, why don't you come and visit us at SQETV?
Quick spoiler alert, if you've not yet seen Baby Reindeer, we will be discussing some of the themes that occurred in the show in this video. But why are we discussing Baby Reindeer at all on SQETV? After all, we're the YouTube channel for wannabe solicitors, and Baby Reindeer might be one hell of a disturbing docudrama, but where's the link? What's it all about? Well, the answer's simple. As well as one of the villains of the piece being a lawyer, there are a number of legal issues which warrant further discussion, not least the law relating to the two central themes of stalking and sexual violence. Take a look at the link below to some of the relevant legislation, the Protection from Harassment Act 1997 and the Sexual Offences Act of 2003. They'll give you some of the relevant law to get your teeth into. Now, on a human level, Baby Reindeer painfully illustrates the toll that such serious offences take on their victims. It's all laid bare for everyone to see. It's a compelling, highly disturbing watch, but one I would caution any victim of such crimes in the past from viewing, as several scenes are likely to trigger memories of a similar previous trauma. But what I found particularly fascinating, at least as a lawyer, and what I think might fascinate the SQETV audience, is that there are so many legal questions that flow from the fact that Netflix made a decision to produce a semi-autobiographical docudrama where the facts and the names of the alleged perpetrators have been changed in what some might see, at least, as a bizarre attempt to protect the guilty, the perpetrators. But in the end, I think it was probably the only option commercially, legally and practically that the producers had. Now, of course, docudramas aren't new. We expect a tale that's part fact, part fiction, but I wonder whether sometimes the audience finds it hard to distinguish one from the other. So let's explore some of the legal issues involved, starting with Netflix's statement at the very beginning of episode 1. This is a true story. Quite a bold statement, but it's a true story that is only sort of founded partly in fact. And at the conclusion of the closing credits, they then qualify it, as they probably should have done at the beginning, by saying this programme is based on real events. However, certain characters' names, incidents, locations and dialogue have been fictionalised for dramatic purposes. So does this statement actually absolve Netflix and co. of any liability or legal responsibility for any of the unintended fallout?
SQETV.
Despite the lengths that Netflix and the writers say they've been to protect the identities of some of the characters in the drama, social media has done its worst and outed the stalker at the centre of the story, who's now unfortunately gone public and identified herself. This all prompts us to answer a number of questions. So firstly, bearing in mind the mental health issues that some of the worst perpetrators of stalking are likely to be suffering from, did Netflix actually owe this particular stalker in Baby Reindeer, the real Martha Scott, a duty of care to take all reasonable steps to ensure that she couldn't be identified? What, if any, further steps could or should the producers have taken to protect her anonymity? Was it reasonably foreseeable to expect social media to do its worst and eventually name her or force her to out herself? Secondly, if, as she alleges, the real Martha Scott has never been convicted of a criminal offence, is it defamatory to allege that the fictional character in the drama had a criminal conviction in circumstances where it's reasonably foreseeable that she would be identified in social media and the criminal conviction might be perceived as fact? Will the public be able to distinguish fact from fiction? And if not, are Netflix exposed to a potential libel action? Or would the public's opinion be so low of what the real Martha Scott did, allegedly, that the issue of whether she has a criminal conviction becomes less significant or perhaps not an issue at all? And thirdly, what of the portrayal of the truly odious sexual predator, Darian? Could or should Netflix have foreseen social media doing its worst in linking at least one innocent man to his crimes? What duty of care, if any, did Netflix owe to any innocent man who's been wrongly named in this way? Now, I'm sure Netflix would argue in their defence that members of the public outing the wrong names on social media was what we call a novus actus interveniens, a new act where the damage or responsibility rests with the last wrongdoer rather than the first one, i.e. not Netflix. But is it actually that straightforward? Was it reasonably foreseeable that innocent people would be named on social media? And if so, does that create a legal link, what we call causation, between Netflix and the innocent man? Experts on the law of causation, what do you think? If anything, Baby Reindeer is a great case study for future SQE tort scenarios.
SQETV.
So whether you're a lawyer, a student of the law, or someone who's just curious about the legal issues that have been brought up in Baby Reindeer, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the chat below this video. And don't forget to check out the links as well. Finally, on a serious note, if you were thinking of speculating who the real perpetrators were in any docudrama such as this one, think again, because if somebody is wrongly named in social media or anywhere else and you subsequently share or otherwise republish or comment on any such statement, you are in the firing line as well. Don't do it. Leave the salacious gossip to the gutter press and the dark forces of the internet, and get back to grappling with the more interesting, in my view, implications of the series, which are much more fascinating, don't you think? Anyway, if you like this content, please do tap the notification bell you can see above me so that you're alerted to our videos as soon as they drop. And please do like and subscribe to SQETV. We love it when you do, especially if you're curious about becoming a lawyer and qualifying as a solicitor in England and Wales. Until next time, cue the jingle.
If you wanna be solicitors, why don't you come and visit us at SQE?